recording?
So hopefully I can get someone to show up next week, because otherwise I'll have to, I don't know, pretend that, oh, but we're going to start advertising. Oh, wait.
And we're live.
Oh, okay. But what about, do I have audio? I mean, do you have?
Yes, I can, well, I can hear you, so if I can hear you, then the stream can hear you.
Oh, is it delayed though, or?
Yes, it will be. There'll be a 5 or 10 second delay, I guess. I don't know how much it actually is.
Okay, wait, how come
Yes,
I'm not
will
watching
be.
it? Let
There'll
me see
be a
here.
5
How
or
do
10
I?
second delay, I guess. I don't know how much it actually is.
I'm refreshing the page. Ah,
Okay,
wait,
wait,
how come I'm not watching it? That's a
There'll be
43-second video.
5
How
or
do
10
I? From today? Did you start and then stop?
No, no, so it's going to be about a 10-second delay if you are listening, watching the stream, so that could be confusing for you.
Oh, I think I was just looking at videos and not looking at your main.
Oh, right.
This is a weird interface. I don't know. Okay, yay. So that's my screen.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So are we going to make a gift box?
We can make a gift box, yes.
We can make something different. I don't care.
No, that's we can make a gift box. So
I want to make some hat boxes of like decreasing size as they stack up.
does it? Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to be like the most difficult student, probably.
Well, not really. Do you want them to? So we have to ask a set of questions.
Okay.
Right, so let me make a note of these. So hat boxes of different sizes, which is fine. So do we want the hat boxes to each use a different texture?
Oh, I think they could use the same texture, and then they could all be wrapped in the same bow, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Same texture, same bow, if we get to that.
But like the bow would wrap around all of them.
All of
You know what I
them?
mean? Yeah, like it would be holding the stack together.
Oh, right, okay. So the bow has to hold, right, so... So same texture, different size meshes, the bow holds them all together. Right, so we just need basically... So you want a separate texture for the boxes and a separate texture for the bow?
Yes.
So that's 2 textures. We can also, I mean, I don't know whether we'll have time for this, but we could also add some variants to the boxes by using vertex painting.
Oh, like how, like using it to make shadows, or how are we?
We can, yes, we can do that. And we can also, so let's say, for example, you put a relatively off-white or palish texture on the boxes. You could paint each box mesh with a different color, so red, green, blue, yellow, you know, whatever color you chose, and that would influence the final display of the image on the
Yeah,
boxes.
okay, yeah, I could make like a grayscale polka dot texture.
Yes, and then using the mesh and vertex painting, we can change the, so you're using one texture and then using vertex colors to alter the tint of that single image.
That sounds like fun.
Yep. So, if you just left click or right click anywhere on screen just to get rid of the, that's it. So we've got our default cube, and you know about the middle mouse click, drag to rotate.
Yeah, I forget all the time, but then I just try it and then
So
go.
it's middle mouse click to drag, middle mouse scroll zooms, or you can use control in conjunction with your middle mouse. And then shift middle mouse is the one that strays you left and right.
Wait, what is control supposed to do? It doesn't
Zooms.
seem. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that one.
Yeah, it's just a smoother action than using the scroll button, which tends to be quite jerky.
Oh,
So if you try it now, if you scroll your middle mouse button.
oh, I see. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's control over it.
Yeah.
Okay. More precise zooming.
Yeah. Right, so what shape do you want the boxes to be?
Round hat box shapes.
Okay, so right click that cube, which is already selected by the looks of things, but right click it anyway. And delete, yeah. Then from the add menu,
Wait, where's that?
bottom
there.
left, yeah, there you go, click that. And we want mesh, which is at the bottom of the list. And then you want cylinder. That's it. And then in the section bottom left where you see the add cylinder stuff, you can change the, don't need to change the size or depth or radius for now, but the vertices, you need to reduce that a little bit because that's quite high, 32. So if you just left click or left click the, you can left click.
Can I just keep it?
Well, you can, but it's using up quite a lot of vertices. So there's a lot of faces there. So if you left click that, it'll just reduce it.
How's that? Well, I don't want to reduce it. It's the IMVU 2017 HD for everyone.
Not for mobile users, it's not.
What? But people, okay, and
Gotta
all
keep
the
their mobile users happy.
no, all of the mobile users are going to be bald if they can't wear things with lots of vertices because every hair mesh is insanely high. I think the hat box is going to be, can have 30. Okay, we'll compromise. I'll make it 30. How's that?
All right, we'll leave it at
All right,
30.
20. Okay, 24. Whoops, I did not mean to do that.
No, that's all right. Just left click and type.
Okay, 24.
Yeah, all right, that'll do.
Okay.
And scroll that little section downwards, so middle mouse or left click drag the thingy-my-bob. Can you see where it says generate UVs, the checkbox at the top there? Yeah, just click that, left click. We
What is
don't
it
need
doing?
that. That doesn't, well, it won't do anything for us.
Is it making a map? What does that do?
Generate UVs.
Yeah.
That creates a UV map that we can then assign the texture to later on.
Oh,
It just
okay.
saves having to do that. It does it automatically based on mathematics and magic.
Oh, and magic. Okay.
Yeah, magic is involved.
Awesome. This is like the Harry Potter of 3D.
Yes, it's 3D magic. Oh, yeah. We need to check this has a material assigned. So in the properties section on the right, Yeah, you want to click on the button that's a sphere. That one, yeah. Left click. And no, it doesn't have a material, so left click the new button below. And that's created a set of basic properties. So if you left click, you can either double click the material.001 in the listing, selects for highlighting, and then you can type a name. So if you type Hatbox, space, brackets, 0, close brackets. Yeah, so just... Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
That's it. Yep, that's it. You can change the diffuse color if you want. So that little color field that you can see below the diffuse header, the subsection below.
What? Diffuse.
Yeah, so if you left click that, that's it. You get the little color pop up. So if you left click in there somewhere, or left click drag the...
Okay.
And then just move the mouse away and it'll set it in place. So
I feel like for left click, you could just say click.
Well,
is that confusing?
Yeah, well, yeah, but because you're using the 3D view a lot, click means right click, generally speaking. So
Oh, so you'd be saying that more often.
yeah, well, if you were actually making something and doing, a lot of editing, click, if I just said click, I would be actually asking you to right click, not left click. So this is where go on.
Oh, I'm just saying that if you just said click, I would automatically left click.
Yeah. But
if you say right click, then I would right click.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Well, this is where that little PDF chart that I'm working on comes into play, where you've got the left mouse button, middle mouse button, and right mouse button highlighted, and it tells you the difference, or it makes a distinction between the left mouse button basically being for all the interface and menus and buttons, and the...
When's that coming out?
It's on its way.
Like for Christmas, special Christmas.
No, well, it actually, it might be ready for that. Yes, I'm just trying to... I'm doing a... it's not just a PDF, it's a multimedia thing, so...
Ooh.
Well, I say multimedia, I mean, it's just PDF and video, but...
That's multi...
Well, yes, but it's not necessarily interactive in that respect of multimedia, but yeah, so that's going to be based on that the session that we did with the folks there at IMVU doing the wonky stool.
Oh,
nice and simple, and just breaking it down into very basic sections. But that hopefully will be done for Christmas.
Or Thanksgiving. That's next Thursday.
Oh no, it won't be ready for then.
What?
Well, there's a lot of editing and script writing and audio recording and more editing and...
Can we have a pre-release version?
There might be a low-res version of the PDF available at some point, yes.
Ooh.
Which will not include any movies, but there will be blank spaces.
I can deal with that. I've already seen the wonky stool anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, for the IMVU folks, it'll be a reminder if they want to redo that project, they can redo the project with the PDF in mind. But for everybody else, it'll have the videos segmented so that they can see what each section actually does, and it just breaks it into sections to make it easy to follow. Because that's the one thing that it can be quite complicated following on a 20-minute video, just watching it without knowing where the distinct steps are when you do something. So hopefully this PDF will address that to some extent, like we did in the session.
Well, I can't wait to see it. I was actually nodding my head, and then I realized you don't know that.
No. No.
How do I make my hat box shorter? It's too tall.
Well, we can do that two ways. We can either... The simple way is to... On the properties panel on the right-hand side, there's the cube icon. Where you click
Cube.
the material. Yeah, left-click that. And can you see where it says size? And oh, sorry, not size, scale. You've got the X, Y, Z scaling properties at the top there where it says transform. Yeah. So if you type left click to highlight and then type 0.5 or a distance in the Z or Z input box.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. So you can do that with precision using that scale, or you would switch to the scale manipulator widget and just drag the handles. So you've got the 3D widget showing you the coloured handles, the red, green and blue one. You can change that to a different type, using those, the ones to the right. So you've got the pointy arrow one, which is the one that's currently selected. You've got the curve, which is rotate, and then you've got the one next to that, which is scale or resize. And if you were going to change the object that way, you'd activate that.
Wait.
Whoops. Left click that button that you just pressed again.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh, so now I could scale it.
Yeah, now you could scale it. So you'd left click drag the handles.
And then just let go?
And
Is there something?
Yeah, you just release.
I don't like that though. Oh no, shoot. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay. There. Okay.
All right, so if you switch that, we probably won't use the scale again, I don't think, for now. So if you switch back to the transform one, which is the pointy arrow. That's it. And what we now need to do is, so we've got a mesh, we've got a basic mesh, we've got a basic material assigned. So what we need to do now is assign a texture to it, or assign a texture to the material. So so left click the checker, the red and green, red and white one. That's empty. So click the new button. That's it. Make sure type is selected, set at image or movie, which it is. That's it. So you can rename the texture. So if in the same way that you did with the material, double click the listing and type. Yeah, you don't need the append for this slot, the texture. So you can just leave it like that. Now down a bit further, can you see the image subsection? Where your mouse is, there's that just above you. That's it. Click the new button. Yep, and type a name for that.
Like Hatbox or something different?
No, Hatbox will be fine.
Okay.
And then change the width and height. So you want the width to be 512.
Oh. No, just let me type in it, you stupid. Okay. 256?
And then 256, yep, for the height. The generated type selector, where it says blank, left click that and select UV grid. That's it, and then OK. And that's our image assigned to a texture, which is assigned to the material. So we want to assign this to the hat box.
Okay.
Just checking. Right, so in the header, the menu area underneath the 3D view, can you see where it says object mode?
Oh, yeah, here?
Yeah, so left click that, select edit mode.
Isn't that like tab or something?
Yeah, the shortcut is, but if you can show it on screen for the purposes of
Oh,
what we're doing, it's best just to show it on screen.
okay.
Right. In this select menu to the left,
Oh,
that's it. Select, deselect all.
where is it?
So near the bottom, it's third from
Okay.
the bottom. That's it, and then just do it again. Select, deselect all, and this clears any active selections in case not everything is selected, and then you have to do it again just to make sure that you select everything. There is a shortcut key for that, obviously, but we'll just stick with the menus for now.
I was going to say something, then I was like, I don't always have to say something. I'm just going to not mention it.
No, you can say something. What is it that Janet Napolitano said? Did with her see something, say something?
Oh, I'm not sure how much that applies to like making hat boxes in Blender, but hey, I'm willing to speak up. I'm very good.
If you see something, say something, because you never know.
Yeah.
Right, so there's a button in that same section, which is the header. There's a button far left. That's it. Click that. And then you want the UV image editor, which is about a third of the way up. Yeah. So click that. So you can use your same mouse control. So if you scroll up with your middle mouse button, it'll zoom the work area.
Wait, what?
If you scroll with your middle mouse button, there you go.
Oh, so shouldn't it look 512 by 256? Why is it
Not
square?
yet. Not yet.
Oh.
This is the default mapping that's assigned to the cube. It just unwraps it using a power of 2. So it's 256 by 256 or whatever. It's square until you do something to it.
Oh.
So that's what we're going to do. So in the header area, the menu area, below the view that you're looking at, can you see a button that says New?
Yes.
To the left of that is a little picture icon. That's all right. That's
You're
it.
tricky. Okay.
Yeah. So left-click your Hatbox.
Oh, okay. Now it is.
Right. So now, because we've it's smushed outwards now because we've assigned a larger image than the default UV map. So we want to remap this. So if you press the E key, you need to. I know what we need to do. Right. So can't do that just yet. So go back into the 3D view. So that's left-clicking the. That's it. Left-click that 3D view.
What does E stand for?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but it basically remaps the UV map.
Oh.
We need to exit edit mode.
Oh.
So left-click the mode selector.
Wait. Object mode.
Object mode. Now we need to go into the object menu, which is next to the left of that selector. And we need to use apply. It's about, yeah, there it is. And we want rotation and scale.
Oh.
Now go back into the UV image editor. So if you left click the mode select, the interactive, the button in the left corner, that's it. Left click that, UV image editor.
Oh, and then click on this.
Oh, we've missed a step. Go back to the 3D view.
Okay. Wait.
That's the button in the corner, left corner. That's it, 3D view. Go into edit mode. So
okay.
that's it. Edit mode. Right, so we've got everything selected. Now go into the UV image editor.
Okay. I feel like it would be better if the side of the hat box was like 512 by 128. And then the top of the box was just like right on top of it, on top of the same map. Does that make sense?
Well, you can do that. I mean, if you press the E key now, it should remap this so that you...
It's not.
Okay, so press the A key to select everything.
Oh, and now E?
Now try E.
No. Maybe it just likes the mapping it has.
Yeah, there's a reason for it, but I can't think of it right now. What we can do it manually actually now that we've got them all selected. So if you press the S key and then the X key and move the mouse inwards, yeah.
Okay.
Right, left click. So that sets your UVs for the top and the bottom are even, right? So down below in the header area where all the menus and buttons are, there's a set of buttons about the middle. That's it. Those ones, that's the one. You want the button that's on the right of that group. So left click that, right? Right click the top section of the UV. So that's the one with all the lines. Yeah, so if you right click that, has that separated them? So if you right click...
Can I drag a box around it or something?
You can, yeah. So if you right click...
That's a...
So what that's done for some peculiar reason is that it's separated each of the faces of the object into separate UV faces, which it shouldn't do. But okay, if you scroll out a little bit just so that you give yourself a little bit of room, that's it. What you can do here is hold the control key down, left click drag a loop, so you're basically loop selecting around that top section.
Oh, just the top.
Yeah.
Wait, what if I miss? Is that going to be... Oh.
Yeah, it's selecting vertices. So you have to be quite sort of accurate with your... So hold the control key down, left click, that's it.
Okay, I think I got that one anyway. Let's see. Oh, and I missed this one.
That's all right. If that doesn't work...
Oh no, I missed one.
Right, so what you can do here is you can shift... Yeah, you can either use the loop select to add things, or you can just use shift right click like you would do with everything else. But now that that's selected, we can use the S key and then press the Y key, and that will lock the axis.
Did it work? How do you know?
Oh, move the mouse over the view. So do that again. Press the S key.
Oh, I see. Oh. So what am I trying to do with it?
Right, press the X key.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh. And then
left click to set. That's it.
The right click will undo it.
Yes, right click will reset it, so it'll reset to whatever the last action was that you were doing. Right, so if you switch back to the 3D view now, that's the button corner, yep, left corner. 3D view. We need to be able to see this, so where we've got the mode selector where it says edit mode right now, there's a button to the right of that that looks like a white sphere.
This one?
Yeah, so click that and select texture.
Maybe we should just make a checkered box.
Well,
No, we might have polka dots.
well, this is essentially just a placeholder. So whatever you, when this is exported, it'll export with the placeholder, with the checker, and then obviously once you import it into IMVU, you can replace it with whatever texture you want.
This one looks funky.
Yeah, it looks like I don't know why it's done that. There's probably a reason for it, but it looks like what it's done is it's unwrapped each of those faces as individual UVs instead of what should have done, which is unwrapped it as a strap, basically. So as a continuous strap of faces, UVs.
Can we just start mapping it over again?
We can. So in this is where it would come in handy to be able to control your screen, your to be able to control Blender.
Oh.
Right. So what we can do here is, as we've got everything selected.
I mean, I can send you the file if you want.
No, it's fine. In the tool shelf on the left, see where we've got all those buttons. If you scroll down a little bit, can you see the remove doubles button? Just left click that. It hasn't removed any vertices, so I'm not sure why it even unwrapped the mesh the way that it did. Okay, so we're going to have to do this the proper way. Right, so we need to switch to edge mode. Well, actually, no, we might be able to get away with doing something else. If you switch to face select mode, which is those three buttons, if you move to your right, keep going to the right, that's it, whoops. Back a bit. The three buttons that you can see grouped together, so you've got, those are your mode selection, so you can select face, edge or vertex. If you have the face button selected, which you have, right click the top of the hat box. Right, so that selects it. In the mesh menu, to the left of edit mode.
Oh yeah.
Go into edges, and we want mark seam, which is about 2/3 the way up. That's it. Now you need to rotate the scene, so you have to use your middle mouse button and rotate the scene so you can see the bottom of the hat box.
It's dark down there.
Yeah, it is. Right click the bottom. Do the same thing again. So from the mesh menu.
Oh.
That's it, edges.
Edges. Where should they go? There. Oh.
That's it, and then mark seam. Right, and then switch to edge mode. So that's the button to the left of the face one that you selected. So, yep, click that. And rotate the scene so you can see the side of the hat box. And just click any one of those vertical edges.
Oh, the edge.
Right click, sorry, yeah. That's it.
I was just clicking in the middle or something.
Yeah, that's okay. Then from the mesh menu, go back down to the mesh menu. Edges. Mark seam. Right, so what we've done is we've created what should have been created before, which is what will eventually be a strap. So if you go into the select menu, deselect all. And do it again. Select menu. Deselect all. That selects everything. And then from the mesh menu, select UV unwrap. That's it. And then unwrap. And you see the change that's on the texture is now being better mapped to the
Yeah,
box.
that looks pretty good. Like the top and the sides aren't the same size, but they look very even.
Yeah. So if you go into the UV image editor now.
Wait, where was that?
That's the button left. That's it.
Wait, it is here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Third
here.
of the way down. That's it. You see how the UV map looks completely different now.
Yeah. Wait, how do I select inverse?
Control I.
Okay. So now what do I want? Like,
What do you want to do?
I want to make these a little smaller so they have the same size grid on them.
Right, so you've got your thing selected, so press the S key.
Oh.
And that just rescales them uniformly.
How will I know when they're the same size?
Basically just going backwards and forwards between the two views. So once you do something, you change the UVs, set them into position, left click, and then you go back to the 3D view. Otherwise you can split the view or change the layout so that you can see the 3D view and the UV image editor at the same time.
I feel like if the little sides of the top are the same width as the
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
Does that look? But isn't that what size it was before? And that didn't look right.
No, you've got a little bit of room. So
all right, let's just
try that.
All right. Yeah. Well, no, it's a little too big. It's a little too big. So.
Press
what
the
was
S key. S key.
Yes.
There's no widget in this mode.
Oh, I think I was going the wrong way with the sizing, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh no, I left clicked. Can I just move them over?
Yeah, you can. Once you've made your assessment in terms of scaling and whatnot, you can move everything around.
Oh, I can't. I just thought if I could move it over now.
Right. So if you press the G key.
Oh, okay, great. I just want to see. Yeah,
that's about right.
That looks all right. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to line up anyway, so.
Right, so this will be a good time to save your file.
Okay. I think I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, wait. Wow, there's a lot of lag. Like I can see this on Twitch up on the thing, and it's so long afterwards.
Yeah, it's about 10 seconds for me, so it might be more.
Wow, but you seem to know what I'm doing right away.
Yes, I mean I don't quite know how it's working, but the audio is synced to whatever it is that you're doing, so the delay isn't that severe.
Go on,
sorry.
Oh, just like so you can see it on Zoom and Twitch the same as I am.
I've got Twitch minimized so that it doesn't interfere with the rendering of the PC, but I can.
Zoom?
But Zoom is.
And the Zoom doesn't have the same delay.
No, because that's what we're using to project the stream.
Okay. So are we gonna make a separate
Well,
lid bit?
how long have you got left? 10 minutes by my clock.
Yeah. I think that's just long enough to chamfer the edges, make a lid, and duplicate the box a couple times. What do you think?
Might be able to do the lid. I'm not sure about all the other stuff. Because if we alter the box, we have to adjust the UVs.
If we chamfer the lid, we do?
Well, if we edit the box in any way, shape, or form from its current state, it interferes or adjusts the UVs. So we would have to go back and adjust the UVs depending on what it is that we were doing.
Can we just tell it to stop changing the UVs?
There is a way of doing that, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. You can instruct it to, when you make changes, you can instruct it to, it's non-destructive to the UVs, and it'll leave the UVs in place. There is a shortcut for it, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Can we just uncheck that thing? Like, what was it?
No, that's we've destroyed that essentially. That function is dead because we've altered the mesh. Where do you want how do you want the lid to be? Because we can do one of two things. We can either make an actual lid, but it means that we're going to have a lot of unused surfaces that aren't going to be seen and used. Or we can make a couple of cuts.
Yeah, I just want to make a cut and then make the top a little bigger or something.
All right, so as we're in edit mode, we can do that using loop, cut, and slide. So in the tool shelf on the left there, that's it. Left click that. So you want a horizontal cut, yeah. So mouse over a vertical edge, left click to select the orientation, and then
Moving the mesh. No, I mean moving the UV.
that's all right.
Okay, it's not very magical.
Well, we have to learn. Oh, there it is. Correct UVs.
What? Oh, can we go back and do that?
Yeah, so if you undo that. Right, so left click the loop, cut, and slide button.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
and
make
do
the
this.
selection.
Okay. Oh. Oh, I have to click again. Okay.
And then in the
Oh, no, wait.
yeah, no, that's
Wait,
it. So in the section below.
Oh. Oh. Wait, go ahead and click it.
Yeah.
Select it.
Yeah. So make your. That's it.
But.
And
okay.
now go in the bottom left where all those properties have appeared. Can you see where it says correct UVs and clamp? Yeah,
ooh, that looks good.
There you go. And that's it. That's the magic button I was trying to remember.
Yay, there is magic. And
yeah. So if you do that again, because we need another cut. So if you click the loop, cut, and slide button.
Okay. What is this one for? I don't know what.
Well,
where to put it.
You'll see in a second. So if you mouse over the vertical and then create the horizontal cut, left click. That's it. Move the mouse all the way up to the top. Keep going all the way up to the top. Yeah, you want to jam it to that cut that you just made.
Oh, okay.
Right, left click. That's it. Perfect. Switch to face select, which is the button with the cube. That's it. I'm going to do a special selection. So if you hold the Alt key down, right click one of the faces that belong to that top section that you've just delineated. So it's Alt right click.
I did that.
You might have to click on one of the edges.
Oh. Like this one?
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go. Right, so what we can do now is we can scale that. So you can either use the scale widget So left click, that's the one with the cubes at the end of the, to the left of global, not that one.
Oh, not that one?
No, activate that one again. So click that button you just clicked. That's it.
Oh, this one.
That one, yeah. Right, so now you can left click drag the green and red handles.
Do I have to do them one at a time?
You have to do them one at a time, yeah.
Okay. I shall refrain from making comments.
You can hold control down to snap to regular increments.
Oh.
So if you undo that.
Okay. Let's see. Wait.
Yeah. Then you left click drag the handle whilst holding control down.
Okay. Wait.
That's it. It'll snap to increments.
It's kind of big though. That is a really, I don't think I like those increments.
Right. To make smaller, so undo those. Control Z. That's it. To make, this is going to test your dexterity. So to make smaller snapped increments,
we are doomed. Okay.
You can hold Control Shift and then left click drag.
Oh. No, too big.
Right, just undo. If you make a mistake, just undo it.
Yeah, but no, it's too. Okay. This doesn't really seem like a smaller increment. Oh, that one might be okay, I guess. Nope. 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 Okay, I don't want to snap it anymore. This.
Right, so undo just so that you get back to your base unit, the thing that you were. So what we can do here as an alternative. Right, so undo, leave it as it is. What we can do here is we can
Look, this is good.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Okay.
Yeah, it tests your dexterity with your fingers and position or your control over the mouse, because the closer the mouse is to the widget, the more sensitive the manipulation is. So what you tend to have to do is move the mouse to the side of the 3D view, so it's almost off screen, activate the tool, and then manipulate, which gives you...
Wait, so...
What? Go on.
So, like if I'm doing the green one, whatever X or Y or whichever that one is, I don't have to be touching it. I just have to be...
No, if you were using the handles, you have to left click drag the handles.
I don't have to use the handles?
You don't have to use the handles if you use the shortcut, which is the S key.
Oh, with the thingy, with the little dotted dashed line.
Yes,
that thing?
yeah. So if you press the S key now, where's the mouse? Where's your mouse gone? Right, so if you press the S key whilst the mouse is over the 3D view.
Oh my god, that's so much easier.
But when you use the S key, it scales on all axes, so it's not scaling.
Oh.
So it's increasing the height as well as the width and depth.
Oh. So you need to plan ahead if you want to do that.
Yeah. There is a... If you go into the... is it the mesh menu? If you go into the mesh menu, bottom left.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Spaced out.
Transform. And you've got shrink and fatten, which is Alt S. That's the shortcut for that. And what that does is it manipulates the selection without changing anything else. So you can see the height stays the same.
Oh.
But the breadth and the depth or width doesn't change. The breadth and width changes, but the height stays the same.
Now it's a table.
Now it's a table, a mushroom.
A mushroom?
A mushroom table, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's a pot or something. I don't know. Okay, escape. Oh, it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so save the file, just save it with an increment, so, number 1 or whatever, and we can continue next week. Or the next session.
Can I just save it?
Well, you can save over the file if you want.
Yeah, next session. It could be like Wednesday or something.
Maybe.
You could schedule it for Wednesday.
Perhaps.
Awesome. This was fun. Like, usually I just get lost and then I go do something else for the rest of the time.
Well, it helps to have, it helps to have some direction. Otherwise, yes, it can be quite confusing, because there are, you can, like with the scaling that you've just been doing, you can use the widgets, you can use a shortcut, and then there's different ways of manipulating the object. You can either manipulate in a specific direction, all directions, or a couple of directions at the same time, all based on what it is that you've selected. So there's 2 or 3 different ways to do the same thing, depending on what it is that you're doing. So it's no wonder why people get confused.
Yeah, it is really confusing. Although it's not any more confusing than 3D Studio Max, and easier for some things.
Blender is easier than 3D Studio Max.
Well, for some things,
Yeah.
it seems like the mapping is easier.
Yes, a lot of people do actually. They create their models in Max, export them, and UV map them in Blender, and then export them back out of Blender into a format that they can get back into Max, because of that. It might seem a lot of work, but it's the tools that are available in Blender appear to make it much easier than Max's tools to UV unwrap. So that's what people tend to do.
I want to try that now. Well, I mean, not this minute, but
No,
sounds like a really good idea.
Well, yeah, it's for complicated objects, it makes a lot of sense because of the way that the editing UVs is controlled in Max.
What do you think? Oh, go ahead.
Go on, no,
Sorry.
go on.
Well, it's a little off topic.
That's all right.
Oh, okay. What do you think about a tool that allows you, as long as you're using the same file names, to replace all of your materials in an, like, say, an IMVU derivation, like all at once? So, like, if I'm repainting someone's room that has 50 textures, and I just open their maps that they've provided, and they all have the proper names or whatever, and I work on all of those, and then I just import them into the scene all at once. Do you think that would be a handy tool?
Yeah, you're talking about basically batch editing or batch processing of.
Well, it would be batch importing, basically.
Yeah,
kind of like.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that, yes, that would work, particularly for, like you say, large rooms. If you've got large rooms with lots of textures and lots of materials that need to be replaced, rather than having to go through the process of individually clicking each material and editing it and, reassigning it and going through that process, if you can click on something that shows you all the materials and they're all editable at the same time.
Oh.
Unless you're talking about something completely different.
Not completely different, but I guess I was thinking meshers provide maps or shading maps, whatever kind of things for texture artists to paint, but then you have to pull each one into create mode one by one.
Yeah.
And I'm just thought if you named them properly and they were all in the same folder, you could just click one button and import them all at once, because that's really time consuming. I feel like FBX is great if you're a mesher, but it doesn't really help a texture artist in any way.
Right. Yeah. No, I see what you do. Yes. Yeah. Which is batch importing. Yeah. So if and it would. Well, yeah. If you do it from the point of view of looking at the way that the FBX importer works, and when it brings in the FBX, and you have all the materials listed, it's obviously pulling in. I mean, it relies on the fact that the materials are all correctly named. So you'd have to have an ability there to rename them if they weren't. But
Yeah, well, I
yes,
feel like a smart mesher would just name all their stuff properly. And then if you open that file and that's what
Yeah.
you're working on,
yeah,
you save it the same name. I mean, it wouldn't be a no-brainer. You'd have
yeah.
to
So
think
it's a
about.
batch import for images.
I mean, we were talking about it today, and I mean, not like there's so much extra time to do stuff, but it's my understanding it wouldn't be a super hard thing to make.
Right. By the way, they're still streaming.
I knew you were going to say that. I know.
Well, I don't want. This is the thing with. This is the concern doing these streams with IMVU staff, that the chatty nature of everyone there is that, what's the World War II? Loose slips sink ships.
Oh, no, I mean, that was just like I'd be interested in anyone's opinion on that.
No,
It's
well,
not
yes, batch
or
import, because importing, some of the rooms are huge, and they
yeah.
have, some of them have hundreds of textures. Goodness knows how they create them with that many textures, but some of them do have that many.
Well, they derive from a derive from a
Yeah,
derive, I think.
yeah. So if you could do a batch import, as long as you've renamed your textures in a way that they're going to automatically replace the defaults, then yes, that would be something. That would be very useful.
Okay, now let me tell you about this super secret thing that nobody outside of IMVU is supposed to know about.
So should I stop streaming now?
I'm just kidding, but no, we should stop streaming anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, that we shall, until next time, next session, whenever that might be scheduled.
Wednesday or something. I can put Wednesday on the calendar if you want.
Maybe. All right. We're stopping.
Okay, I'm stopping sharing.
Cheery bye, everyone.
Bye.
And record.